The crew will now simulate loading 25,000 pounds of liquid oxygen into the missile oxidizer tank. A liquid oxygen or LOX hose is being carried to the top of the fueling ladder. The boiling point of liquid oxygen is -297 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 LOX tanker trailers, each carrying 18,000 pounds of LOX, were employed for this procedure. The LOX hoses from each tanker are connected to a Y fitting. The Y used for Block 1 missiles contained a LOX filter. The output hose from the Y runs to the base of the fueling ladder. The LOX tanker driver is now beginning to flow LOX out of one of the 2 tankers. This was a lines pre-cooling operation. Pumps on one tanker were started before the pumps on the second tanker. This left a reserve in one tanker for LOX topping. LOX is now being pumped from the tankers to the missile oxidizer tank. The trainer missile did not have a full-size oxidizer tank. It employed a double-walled belt tank around the circumference of the thrust unit. However, the telltale frost band would form around the outer surface of the thrust unit. When the LOX tank was full, excess LOX would flow out the LOX vent valve and down a standpipe to be vented onto the ground. At this point, the LOX tanker pumps would be turned off and the valves closed. LOX hoses were then disconnected and drained onto the ground. The reserve tanker was then connected to the missile with a special LOX topping hose to periodically replenish or top off the oxidizer tank. Final checkout of the inertial guidance system is now taking place. The fire control and test truck contained a library of punched tapes. Each tape contained the missile's pitch program for a pre-selected target. The pitch program on a punched tape was transferred to a magnetic tape in the missile's program device, essentially a reel-to-reel magnetic tape recorder located in the instrument compartment. Once the missile was launched, the data stored on the magnetic tape would be used to sequentially pitch the missile over on a ballistic path toward the target. Range computer velocity and displacement presets would be entered at this time. The operation of the thrust unit's 4 steering rudders and carbon jet vanes would be checked at this time. However, the body steering vanes are locked in place until missile separation. The missile was rotated on the launcher to point fin 1 toward the target. The theodolite crew then made final adjustments to the firing azimuth. The operator is sighting in on a prism installed on the side of the instrument compartment. The missile was now precisely aligned along the firing azimuth. The final van checkout task was to select air burst or ground burst option for the nuclear warhead. Warhead burst option selection was always carried out by a team of the battery commander and the maintenance officer. Finally, control of the missile was switched from the checkout van to the remote firing panel located 200 yards from the launcher. The missile automatic launch sequence was activated from the firing switch on this panel. Redstone had a maximum range of 201 miles and reached a maximum altitude of 58 miles. A complete Redstone missile firing operation was listed as an 8-hour event. However, once established in Germany, the 40th Artillery Group firing batteries consistently performed the fire mission in 5 hours or less.